The Antarctic wind howled in the distance, creating an atmosphere of unease and tension. Dr. Alex Morgan, an experienced glaciologist who had dedicated 20 years to studying icy expanses, strode confidently across the snow-covered glacier. His day began as usual, analyzing ice, collecting samples, performing routine tasks. Nothing suggested anything unusual. Alex was focused. Over the years, he had grown accustomed to harsh conditions, solitude, and the strange silence that hung over the glacier, as if nature itself was holding its breath. And then he saw it. Beneath the ice, something shimmered, emitting a soft blue glow. He stopped in his tracks. The sight was so extraordinary that a chill ran down his spine. "What is that?" he murmured, leaning closer to the glow. About a meter below, the clear ice lay an object. It resembled a stone the size of a kiwi, but the light emanating from it seemed alive. Alex grabbed an ice pick and, despite the biting cold, began chipping away at the ice, fully focused on the discovery. When he finally reached the stone and touched it, his head spun. The space around him seemed to distort. Alex managed to shut his eyes just before consciousness left him. When he came to, the world looked different. The snow, ice, and sky were unchanged. But Alex immediately felt that something was off. His body trembled from the cold. He realized he was shirtless, his skin smeared with blood. Horrified, he looked at his hands. They bore deep scratches and crimson marks. "What happened?" he croaked, struggling to his feet. In the snow, he noticed a trail of blood leading off into the distance. The tracks were wide, unnatural, as if left by a massive creature. "Mark," he called out, remembering his colleague who had accompanied him that morning. But there was no response. Summoning his strength, Alex followed the trail. He still held the stone in his hand, and now it seemed alive, pulsating as if with a heartbeat. Each step was laborious. The snow sank beneath his feet, and his strength was draining away. After several minutes, he reached the edge of a cliff. At the brink lay a body. It was Mark. "No," Alex whispered, his throat tightening with horror. His friend's body was mutilated beyond recognition. The chest cavity was ripped open, the skin charred as if burned by fire. Alex felt panic rising in his chest. "Did I do this?" he muttered, afraid of his own words. At that moment, a low vibrating hum echoed, as though coming from deep within the earth. The stone in his hand flared, and vivid images flashed before his eyes. He saw ancient beings frozen in ice. They were fighting for their lives, their bodies scarred, their eyes glowing with the same blue light he had seen before. "You have freed us," a voice echoed in his head. Alex clutched his head, trying to silence the whispers, but they grew louder, searing his mind. Somehow, he made it back to the research station. The building was empty. His colleagues had left for another base. Alex felt utterly alone. He threw the stone onto a table and grabbed the radio. "Iceberg Base, come in! This is Alex Morgan. I need help!" he shouted, but all he heard was static. At that moment, the stone began to glow again, casting long shadows on the wall. Alex saw his own silhouette start to deform. He turned around, but no one was there. "You are one of us now." His body began to change. His fingers elongated, his skin cracked, revealing something alien and incomprehensible beneath. The end came swiftly. Alex was no longer himself. The stone had given him power, but had stripped away his humanity. By dawn, the research station was in ruins, and on the glacier, a new creature emerged, a hunter that had once been a man.